sales comparison and income approaches. Help. Documents. Email instructor. CH13 Financial Calculator Introduction. HP12C Calculator. PG11 Compounding Exercise 1. Notes print. Leave a comment. Compounding Exercise 1. Compounding Exercise 1. If I invest $60,000 at 6.5% interest, how much will be available when I retire in 12 years? Do the keystrokes. Don't forget to clear your registers first. Then click to the next page to find the answer. End of page. Chapter start. 75%. Help. Documents. Email instructor. CH13 Financial Calculator Introduction. HP12C Calculator. PG12 Compounding Exercise 1 Solution. Notes print. Leave a comment. Compounding Exercise 1 Solution. F clear FIN. 12N. 6.5I. 60,000 CHSPV. FV. 127,745.77. Congratulations. You have just performed a calculation of a column 1 function of the 6 functions of a dollar, the amount to which $1 will grow with compound interest. End of page. Chapter start. 75%.
Okay, yeah, it worked. The only problem I'm kind of having a problem with is I'm not 100% sure if F clear fin is working. I think it did. However, on the red labels, the clear fin button, I believe, is the X arrow right, Y arrow left button. So I'm going to try it again. It worked. But let me see. I'm going to clear. I'm going to press F, X, right arrow, Y left arrow button, which above it says clear fin. On the display, it shows 0.00, and it shows like an arrow pointing down to the left of the first zero. Now I'm going to press 12, the N for number. I'm going to press 6.5, the I button for interest. That's it. You don't put the percent on it, you just put the number, 6.5% interest. Now I'm going to press 60,000. Then I'm going to press the CHS button, which I believe, I can't remember what it stood for. I got to restudy that. When I do that, the display puts negative 60,000 on it. And then I'm going to press the PV button for present value. When I do that, it still shows the same display, but like it re-enters it in. Negative 60,000 on the display. And then I'm going to solve for the future value. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like whenever you use those buttons, you're always solving for one that's not being in the equation. So in this instance, it's future value. So I'm going to hit the FV button, and it says $127,745.77.
Help. Documents. Email instructor. CH13 Financial Calculator Introduction. HP12C Calculator. PG13 Financial Functions. Compounding. Notes print. Leave a comment. Financial functions. Compounding. The function we are going to look at next is a little different. It involves periodic investments, i.e., payments. You need to distinguish paid after it is earned, so it is received or paid at the end of the period. Therefore, you would leave the E&D function in place. But a sinking fund where you deposit a certain amount in a savings account each period over a period of years with a goal, or saving a certain amount at the end of the periods, the payment is made into the savings account at the beginning of each period, so you need to set the calculator to the BEG function to get the correct answer. The following is an example of a sinking fund where the payment is made at the beginning of each period, so you need to set the calculator to the BEG function. If I put $1,000 in the bank every year for 5 years, at 3.5% interest, how much will I have? Please follow along and input these keystrokes into your own calculator. First, clear the financial registers. F clear FIN. G BG. 5N. 3.5I. 1000 CHS PMT. FB. Answer 5,550.15. End of page. Chapter start. 75%.
Okay, I'm gonna clear the registers by pressing the F shift button, and then I'm gonna hit the clear fin button, which is the X right arrow, Y left arrow button. Since I did it twice, the arrow that was on the left side of the circle disappeared. I guess it's all good. Now I'm gonna press the shift blue G button, and the BEG button is in blue letters. It's the number 7. It's underneath the number 7 button, so it's the same one. When I do that, it says begin on the calculator in like low caps. Now I'm gonna press 5N for the number. 5.00 is on my display. It still says begin. Now I'm going to press 3.5 and then the interest button for the interest, 3.5%. Now I'm going to press 1000 and the CHS button, which I forgot what it means. I can't remember if it's God damn it, I forgot that one. CHS is, I don't remember, but I'm going to hit it. Now it shows in my display, it shows minus $1,000. Now I'm going to hit the PMT button for payment. The only thing that changes on my display, it still says negative $1,000, but it shows 0.00 after it. Now I'm going to solve for future value. I'm going to hit the FV button, and it says $5,550.15, just like it says on the laptop.
Help. Documents. Email instructor. CH13 Financial Calculator Introduction. HP12C Calculator. PG14 Financial Functions. Cash flows. Notes print. Leave a comment. Financial functions. Cash flows. When dealing with financial problems, we need to work with cash flows. Some money goes out and some money comes in. In this last problem, we are putting money out, $1,000 each year. So, from our standpoint, it is a negative cash flow. The future value will be a positive, and we can recoup it at the end of 5 years. Let's look at a mortgage from the mortgage lender's standpoint. You borrow $50,000 and agree to pay it back monthly over 20 years. The lender makes a one-time cash flow out, negative, and gives you the $50,000. Every month you pay some back. They become cash flows back to the lender, positive. He or she recoups the loan money a little bit at a time. From your standpoint, it is just the opposite. You receive one large lump sum, positive, cash flow when you receive the $50,000. Then, for the next 240 months you pay out mortgage payments, negative cash flows. In every financial problem, there needs to be at least one negative cash flow, and at least one positive cash flow. End of page. Chapter start. 75%. Help. Documents. Email instructor. CH13 Financial Calculator Introduction. HP12C Calculator. PG15 Compounding Exercise 2. Notes print. Leave a comment. Compounding Exercise 2. Try this one on your own. Remember, if the payments are made/received at the end of each period, you leave the calculator set on the default setting of END. As an example, mortgage interest is paid after it is earned, so your February 1st mortgage payment would pay for the interest covering the month of January. However, if the payments are made/received at the beginning of each period, such as in a savings program or a sinking fund, you need to set your calculator to the BEG function so it will know to begin the calculations with cash flows occurring at the beginning of each period. Compounding Exercise 2. You invest $3,500 per year into a fund that pays 4.25% interest. What will it accumulate to in 8 years? Take your time and use the previous problem as a model. End of page. Chapter start. 75%. Help. Documents. Email instructor. CH13 Financial Calculator Introduction. HP12C Calculator. PG16 Compounding Exercise 2 Solution. Notes print. Leave a comment. Compounding Exercise 2 Solution. F clear FIN. GBG. AN. 4.25I. 3,500 CHS PMT. FV. 33,921.37. You have just performed a calculation of a column 2 function of the 6 functions of a dollar, the amount to which $1 per period will grow with compound interest. End of page. Chapter start. 75%.
Okay, I've already cleared the registers by pressing the F shift button and the clear fin button. What it shows in my display is 0.00. It shows the arrow pointing down to the left of the first zero. Now I'm going to press the blue shift G button for begin. It says on my display of my calculator, it has in low caps low G, I guess for the blue shift, and it says the word begin in low caps. And then I'm going to press the begin button, which is the number 7 on the 7 button. When I do that, the little shift G button disappears and the little arrow pointing down has disappeared. It says 0.00 on my display. It'll say RPN and a begin. Now I'm going to press 8 for the number and the little N button. It says 8.00 in my display. It still says begin in low caps and RPM. Now I'm going to press 4.25 for the interest. Nothing changes on my display. Now I'm going to press 3500 CHS button, which I don't remember what it said, what it's for. When I do that, it says all that changes on my display is it says negative 3,500 now. Now I'm going to press the PMT button. When I do that, it still says negative $3,500, but it shows 0.00 after it now for the payment. Now I'm going to press the future value button. When I do that, it says $33,921.37, just like it does on the laptop. So it works. You have just performed a calculation of column 2 function of the 6 functions of a dollar, the amount to which $1 per period will grow with compound interest.
Help. Documents. Email instructor. CH13 Financial Calculator Introduction. HP12C Calculator. PG17 Financial Functions. Compounding. Notes print. Leave a comment. Financial functions. Compounding. Here's a different type of problem. How much do I have to put aside each year, at 7% interest, to accumulate $9,000 to replace a roof in 8 years? We need to analyze our data and think through the problem. Here we know our goal $9,000, FV. We also know the interest rate and the time period. What we are seeking is the payment amount. So, let's enter the known data first, and then press the key for the unknown, PMT. We also need to set to BG, as the payments are made at the beginning of each year. F clear FIN. G BG. 8N. 7I. 9000 CHS FV. PMT. 819.82. End of page. Chapter start. 75%.
Okay. Alright, it's a different type of problem. How much do I have to put aside each year at 7% interest to accumulate $9,000 to replace a roof in 8 years? We need to analyze our data and think through the problem. Here we know our goal, the $9,000, which is the future value. We also know the interest rate, which is 7%, and the time period. The time period is 8 years. What we are seeking is the payment amount. So let's enter the known data first and then press the key of the unknown, PMT. Okay. We also need to set the BEG, the beginning, as the payments are made at the beginning of each year. So on your calculator, you press F, clear fin. It shows 0.00 with the arrow pointing down. Now press the Shift G button. Now press the 7 begin button because it's a beginning payment. All it says in my display is 0.00 and it shows begin in low caps. Now I'm going to press the 8 and button because that's the number. And where did we get that number at, actually? Oh, for years. So we know the number of years. So for 8 is the number of years. So 8N. Now I'm going to press 7 and the interest button for the 7% interest. And then I'm going to press 9,000. I'm going to press the CHS button, which always turns it into a negative when you press it like that. And then I'm going to press future value button. Nothing changes on the screen. It still says negative $9,000. And we're going to solve for payment. So I'm going to hit the PMT button. And it'll say $819.82, just like it does on the laptop.
Help. Documents. Email instructor. CH13 Financial Calculator Introduction. HP12C Calculator. PG18 Compounding Exercise 3. Notes print. Leave a comment. Compounding Exercise 3. Compounding Exercise 3. Our homeowners association will need $50,000 in 9 years replace the swimming pool. How much needs to be set aside in a reserve fund each year if we can invest it at 5.5%? Do the keystrokes, using the last problem as a model. Click to the next page to see the answer. Note, as stated earlier, the table provided assumes an end-of-period payment, not beginning-of-period payment. To get the correct answer, you must again use the
Our homeowners association will need $50,000 in 9 years to replace the swimming pool. God damn. How much needs to be set aside in a reserve fund each year if we can invest it at 5.5%? Do the keystrokes using the last problem as a model. Click to the next page to see the answer. Note, as stated earlier, the table provided assumes an end of period payment, not a beginning of period payment. To get the correct answer, you must again use the BEG function.
Help. Documents. Email instructor. CH13 Financial Calculator Introduction. HP12C Calculator. PG19 Compounding Exercise 3 Solution. Notes print. Leave a comment. Compounding Exercise 3 Solution. F clear FIN. GBG. 9N. 5.5I. 50,000 CHS FV. PMT. 4,210.40. You have now performed a calculation of a column 3 function of the 6 functions of a dollar. You calculated a sinking fund factor, which is the amount per period which will grow with compound interest to $1. End of page. Chapter start. 76%.
Okay. So I already did the F clear fin button to clear the registers. Now I'm going to press the blue G shift button and the BEG button for begin. Now I'm going to press 9 for the number. Then I'm going to press 5.5 and the little low cap I button for interest. It'll say 5.50. Now I'm going to press $50,000. Then the CHS button, which says negative $50,000. Then I'm going to press FV for future value. And then lastly, I'm going to press the PMT for payment, because I guess you're trying to solve for the payment, the missing part of the equation. And it says $4,210.40, just like it does on the display.